is question 28 on the higher non-calculator paper. Now looking at this question straight away, I know it's a vectors question, but let's read through the question. It's question 28. The question says APB is a triangle, and it says N is a point on AP. So APB, that's the triangle they're referring to. N is a point on that line AP, and they've told us that AB is A. So A to B is A. I've got that information there. A to N is 2B. A to N is 2B. And N to P is B. So this whole distance here is 3B. So all the way across from A to P is 3B. I'm going to write that here. A to P. Going from A to P is 3B. Now, reading the first part, part A says find the vector PB. Find the vector PB in terms of A and B. So the vector from P to B. So to get from P to B, I need to travel from P to A and then A across to B. So I'm going to write that in here. PB is P to A, and then add on to that A to B. Now P to A, I'm going in the opposite direction to those arrows, so it's going to be minus 3B. So minus B minus 2B, that's minus 3B altogether, and then A to B, add A. Okay, and that's it. Right, now I could leave it like that. I could write minus 3B plus A. I shall still get the full marks, but I'm going to write the positive one first. So A minus 3B. So that's the total, that's the final answer for that bit. Going on to part B. Right, now part B, there's a bit of extra information here. It says B is the midpoint of AC. So B is the midpoint of A to C. Now what that tells me straight away is that if B is the midpoint, is the halfway point of A to C, that means that this section here is also A. B to C is also A. I've written that in at the top there. Okay. They also tell me in the question that M is the midpoint of PB. So M is the halfway point of P to B. So PB, and I just worked that out in the previous part, PB, M is halfway along PB. So that's half, and that's half. So I'm just going to put that there just to tell me as I read through and I go through the following, the part B. In part B it says show that NMC is a straight line. Show that NMC is a straight line. So what I want to show is that those 3 points, N, M, and C, are on the same straight line. Even though on the diagram it's not the case. What I want to show is I want to show that using vectors, I want to show that those 3 points are on a straight line. Now how do I do that? Well, I need to work out NC first of all. So I need to find NC. Now to get from N to C, right, I need to go from N to A, and then from A all the way across to C. So I'm going to put that in there, N to A, and then all the way across from A to C. Now N to A, I could see that on the diagram. N to A is 2B, but it's minus 2B because I'm going against that arrow. So it's minus 2B. And A to C, if I want to travel all the way across from A to C, it's going to be A plus another A. So A plus A. So what that works out to be, and I'm going to write the positive thing first, it's going to be 2A minus 2B. Okay? I'm going to rewrite that slightly differently, right? Because I can see that they both have 2 in front of them, I'm going to take out a factor of 2. And I'm going to call that 2 brackets A minus B. right? I know that. I know I need to use that for the next part, right? Because I want to show that they're all on the same straight line. And this is quite a common type of question, so I'm going to set it out in this way. The other thing that I actually didn't draw attention to was the fact that there's a star next to where it says part B. So I need to make sure that all my workings are laid out clearly, right? And I show everything that I'm doing, and I explain it as well. So the next part of this, right, because I want to show that N, M, and C are on the same straight line. I've worked out N, C already. I'm going to now work out M to C. So I'm going to do it on this side, M to C. Now this part is a bit more complicated. Now to work out M to C, I need to go from M to B, and then from B across to C. Right, so I need to go M to B, and then B across to C. So M, B, and then I'm going to add on to that B to C. Now what do I know about that so far? Well, M is the midpoint of P to B, right? And because I'm going in the same direction, M to B is going to be half of P to B. And I already know that B to C is just A. So I'm going to use the answer to part A, which is PB is A minus 3B. I'm going to use that here. That's going to be a half of A minus 3B. And don't forget to add on the A. Alright, so now this is going to get a bit more complicated. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to use the rest of the space here and show this workings out. So a half, I'm going to multiply out this bracket by a half, so I'll get a half A minus, now half times 3 is 1.5 B, or 1.5 B, plus the A. Now I've got a half A and plus A here. So a half A and 1A, altogether that's going to be 1.5 or 1.5 A, and that's minus 1.5 B. Now make sure you go over that and you understand how I got that, right? But just like I did in the previous part of the question, I'm going to pull out the factor that's common to them both. And in this case, it's both 1.5A, 1.5B. So I'm going to put 1.5 outside in brackets and A minus B inside the brackets. So that's the vector MC. Now I've done everything that I need to here, but I need to write a sentence. I need to write what this tells me, because NC and MC are both multiples, right, of A minus B. That means that both of those vectors are parallel, and because they both are going to C, because they're both parallel and they're going to C, they have that common point C in them, that means that they're all on the same straight line. And that's what I need to write. I need to write NC is a multiple of MC, right? And so they are parallel. And because they have the common point C, this means that they are on the same straight line. Okay, so there's quite a lot for this, right? But it's 4 marks, yeah. And given that it's 4 marks, and this type of question is a pretty standard question. If you go over this several times, you should be able to understand what's done and be able to replicate it if you get a question similar to this. This type and style of question has come up several times in the last couple of exams, so make sure you could do it. I'm going to sort of zoom in on that last part, so make sure you could actually follow that. You understand exactly every stage of what's been done, and you could actually do it yourself if you get a question similar to it.